Good evening, everybody. I am Christopher Vitz, the Director of Public Works and County Engineer for Morris County. The current slide up that you see actually has just a very preliminary concept of the building format. Schuyler Place is actually behind that building. The roadway going from left to right in front is Court Street. So you can get a general idea as to what we're looking at in constructing a new building or an expansion of the building out in the Schuyler Street lot. So you can go to the next slide, please. So some of the benefits of the preferred alternative. Completion of the building expansion will allow the entire criminal court function to move from the existing historic courthouse into the new building, and it will meet the current function, safety, and mobility needs required for those court facilities. The criminal courts were chosen because they are the ones that need the most security. They require the most detailed changes to courtroom layout. Constructing the 8 new courtrooms and collegial space for judges assigned to Morris County on the Schuyler Place parking lot will not result in any loss of ratables, as the county already owns the property envisioned for the new building. There would be no additional takings envisioned for this project. The preferred alternative will keep all legal functions and services within a downtown complex for the duration of construction. We wouldn't have to move anybody off-site. We could maintain what we do here today, and then once that new building is completed, we can relocate those court facilities over, or those people and that function over to that new structure. Building the criminal courts next to the administration and records building will streamline uses, as the prosecutor's office is in this building right below us. They could easily go back and forth to the building, and then also the jury assembly rooms will be downstairs on the 2nd floor, so it will make it much more accessible for those criminal courts to be able to pull those jurors into those courtrooms. Secure space can also be provided for judicial parking, as well as inmate transfers within separated parking areas under the new structure. So there would be additional parking that would be envisioned under this new courthouse building, and it would be secure for both the judges and for those inmates. Relocation of the criminal court functions to new space provides space within the historic courthouse to allow for relocation and renovations. So once we're able to move those people and those functions over to the new building, those areas in the existing historic courthouse would become empty. It would give us the ability to either relocate other functions to consolidate them, and then leave other areas of the building empty that we can start to renovate, add the sprinkler systems, the electric systems that we need, plumbing systems that we need. This would also allow us to continue with renovations in a structured manner over several years. It doesn't all have to be done at once. We can move through sections of the building as we can over several years. Completing the full renovations of the existing courthouse will also allow consolidation of court functions that exist off-site. There are some court functions that are at Headquarters Plaza that can be possibly moved up here to this facility in our campus. The design and construction of the new space for criminal courts will allow Morris County to remain the hub of Northern New Jersey's legal system well into the future. Go to the next slide, please. Some of the challenges of temporarily relocating court services. Relocating offices or court functions within the existing building space is impossible because we simply do not have any conducive spare space, as the judge has eloquently established. There's just not enough spare space to move people and to keep the functions going. Additionally, if we were to temporarily relocate court services off campus to another facility, it would require the relocation of an entire court set, such as criminal or family court. We can't just move a couple courtrooms to a different place. You actually have to move that entire function to a different facility just because of the way it works. You'd have to have people going back and forth all day long if you only moved a couple of courtrooms. It just doesn't work that way. You have to actually move the entire court set. This would need to be done for a period of time, possibly 5 to 7 years, as that would allow us to renovate those different sections of the courthouse. The historic part of the courthouse is going to require a lot of work. It's not simply just rip down what's there and put back all new. We'd have to be cognizant of all those historic artifacts and everything in that courthouse, and then continue to move through to the new spaces and work to renovate that. It may be impossible to adapt the historic areas of the courthouse to current standards, as it would destroy the historic fabric of the building. We have not identified office space off-site to relocate court facilities to, nor have we quantified the cost of that space. This space that would be needed is specialized. It's not just regular office. It has to be set up to be secure. It has to be set up like a courtroom. There has to be that separation between the public and the judges and anybody that may be on trial. This would require renovations to that off-site space, which would be costly, along with the additional monthly lease fees for that office space. Additionally, this would require splitting functions and security between the downtown campus and whatever facility we may temporarily relocate to. This would require additional sheriff and security officers, transportation for employees, jurors, inmates, and other personnel would also need to be provided. One additional thing to note is that the Space Needs Study report found that the legal industry in Morristown generates $170 million in revenue per year to our local economy. A temporary relocation of a court set would reduce that revenue significantly. For example, you wouldn't have the foot traffic for some of the restaurants or some of the other things that exist downtown. You'd lose that for that period of time. So I would like to just, in closing, the next slide will be John Bonani. Reintroduce Administrator John Bonani.
Morristown Green.